That's Farmers and Merchants Bank, your local community bank, serving Chambers County and the Greater Valley area with all its banking needs. FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
With all of life's demands, buying insurance is probably low on your list. Luckily, there's someone who's looking out for you and putting your needs first. A trusted friend is right around the corner. The team at Star Insurance can provide you with great protection and a personal touch. Whether it's business, farm, home, or auto, their team can help out. They aren't just agents, they're members of the community.
Hello again, everyone. We are back and here tonight with Coach Jason Allen. Coach, it's always a pleasure to sit down and talk with you. And it's a special pleasure talking to you in a big game week. And we know you guys have been thinking about Lowndes for a while. Tell us how the week of preparation is going and your thoughts on the big matchup tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're excited to be playing, I think, what is the marquee game in the state in AISA this tomorrow. Lowndes is a really good program that we haven't played since 2020. Last time we played them, I think, was in 2020 at home, and so we haven't been on each other's schedule the last several years. They've won several state championships, and so have we. So really, two of the premier programs in the AISA over the last 5 years, I think, and it should be a really fun environment tomorrow night.
Coach, coming off of, 2 or 3 weeks where we were obviously the strongest team on the field, how does a big game like this impact your preparations with the team? Do you change anything about your weekly practices, your setup, or is it just business as usual?
Yeah, you don't change anything. We just try to take each opponent the exact same every week, and it's football coaches like routine. I think I've heard that a lot in my life, and it surely means a lot to me. We don't want to, if you start putting more importance on one game than another game, then your kids get kind of confused, and you can have letdowns, and it can be up and down to me. So we feel like that we're good.
I can't hear anymore.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Y'all they're a little loud in my ear, Dave. But that's better. So what were we talking about? Okay, so we try to take each game the same. We try to prepare the same. We have the same system. We don't go out of the way doing different stuff. Now our game plan may have a more emphasis on this or this, but it's all within the confines of what our system is. We don't go and trying to invent new things. Right. And so, it's really the game of football is always been, and it always will be, about blocking and tackling. And the team that does that best is going to win. I think the game of football is sometimes made complicated by people that should know better.
I think you might have a lot of good points there.
But Jason, you talk a lot about this during other seasons, is the maturity of your team. You're at the midway point of the season, and there was a lot of adversity as the season kicked off with losing the quarterback. How has the team matured so far this year?
Yeah, we've had a time to catch our breath, really. Landon goes down right at 2 weeks before the opener, and everything we had done was geared toward his skill set. Mm-hmm. And so we had to just change course with a lot of things that we do to fit Hunter's skill set. I think Hunter's settled in nicely. That first game, he had he had a few issues there in the third quarter. Things got kind of hectic for him, and so I feel like he's really gotten better every week. Now this is the second test we've had since then. We haven't had a test like Starkville until now, so we're going to find out how much we've improved since then.
Well, we always talk with Coach Jackson, Coach, about the game, and his philosophy to us has always been winning the line of scrimmage, and I think that's what you were alluding to. It's like when you can win up front, that blocking and that tackling on that interior line, it really does have an overall impact on everything else that happens after that.
Yeah, and I think that's at any level.
Yeah.
From the NFL to the college level to high school to junior high to wherever. The line of scrimmage is it's just what the game of football is. And, those big guys up front, a lot of times they don't get the accolades or the exposure or things like that. But really, every football game hinges on those guys. And so we put a lot of hard work into the kids we have up front over the years.
Right.
Coach at Banks asked me before the game, he's like, he was talking about our offensive linemen. I said, Coach, well, those are the same kids that were playing against you in the championship game as sophomores. And so, unfortunately, this is their last year of eligibility, but there's been a lot of hard work in it. I'm a firm believer that you develop linemen in your program. Your program's going to stay solid. It's going to stay competitive, and you're going to have a chance to win. And it's just not natural for a kid to block all the time.
Right. Yeah.
It's natural for them to grab the football and run.
Right.
So developing linemen is hard, but once you have good linemen, I think you really got a chance to have a special football program. And so we've been depending on those guys up front for a long time, and we're going to continue to do so.
Well, I think we're in good shape there. We watch particularly this offensive and defensive line, and we're always amazed, Coach, at the strength of this team and, the athletic ability. But one thing that also amazes us, not just with your interior guys, but guys across all positions, there is this football intelligence about our team. Our team understands where to be, and they know what to do. Now, sometimes we don't get it done exactly right, but we're almost always in the right place.
Yep, and I think that comes with continuity and staying in a system for a long period of time. And I'm not talking about just one season, I'm talking about multiple seasons. And so the kids start seeing things from a coach's perspective, and they say, okay, well, this is where I need to be. This is the type of leverage I need to have on this run. This is my assignment. And then for us, it's all about assignment football. And so, I'm proud of that. That's something that takes time to build. It's not just an overnight deal. So our kids are very coachable. They want to learn, and they take this week serious. They take every day of practice serious. That really helps when you got 17 seniors.
Yeah, I would think that would help an awful lot.
Probably one of the most mature teams you've ever started out with at the beginning of the season with that many seniors, correct?
Yeah, one of them, for sure. This has been a special group, and just a joy to coach. They continue to be. We're halfway through the season, and I can't tell any difference now than the preseason about their willingness to go out and practice and get better, even if it's just a real little bitty thing. And I told Coach Nesmith our defensive line is playing at a level that we haven't had, I don't think, since I've been back at Chambers Academy. Just little things from how they swim in the pass rush, or how they play certain blocks, or use their hands. I mean, Cross Collie has done a tremendous job coming back as a former player, working with those guys on hand placement, leverage, just really little things that make huge things.
Sure. Well, Coach, one of the things Chet and I are always talking about, and especially in the last couple weeks, we talk about seeing your younger guys getting on the field, getting coached, and I did want to mention this. The score sometimes is a little out of hand, but the coaching staff doesn't stop coaching at Chambers Academy. That just doesn't slow down.
Yeah. Well, when I was a younger coach, you probably get, you just want to get those guys in, and you're probably not mature enough to say, okay, take advantage of this opportunity. I'm going to coach you. But I think that's the maturity of our coaching staff. I know Coach Nesmith, when they're playing defense, if something is a mistake, I mean, he's about to lose his mind over there. And, I guess the most famous coach you've seen that over the years do that was Nick Saban, even ahead 60 to, I thought, so where he was ahead somebody like 60 to 7, and it was like one play left, and he lost his mind over a defensive player. And that's what the kids, we owe those kids, I don't care who's playing, we owe them our best from a coaching standpoint of trying to get them better, because those kids are going to be next in line. And if we can teach them those lessons now, we don't have to teach them later.
Well, I think that's very true in coaching. You got kids who work hard, and they may be a 2, but when they're on that field, I think they do deserve that. They not only deserve, that time when it's appropriate, but they also deserve that coaching. I mean, it should go across the board, and I love the fact that that's what we see week in and week out with our coaching staff.
Kids want to be coached.
Yeah.
Jason, looking into tomorrow, is there anything that, you're going to have to keep an eye out with this Lowndes team? I haven't seen much about him. I know they got a real shifty running back down there. I think he's a senior. Is there anything else that kind of keeps you maybe raising an eyebrow at?
A lot like us, they're a football school, and they've got tough, hard-nosed kids that just – the first thing you're going to notice is they play extremely hard. Mm-hmm. And if your kids don't play hard, nothing else matters. And so they play extremely hard. They have built a winning culture like ours, so when they go out to play football, they expect to win, and that's half the battle. They hired a new coach this year that is a good friend of mine that started when I was playing ball. He was coaching at Lowndes, and then he left, and he was at Fort Dale in Greenville for the last 25 years. And he left there this past year, and of course, Lowndes' coach went to Prattville Christian, and he's an extremely good football coach. His name's Speed Sample. He played for Coach Dye at Auburn back in the 80s as a walk-on. He's a great human being, and he's a really good football coach. So they're going to be well coached, and they're going to make adjustments throughout the game, and that's what makes it fun for us coaches.
I have a little bit, and look, not a gotcha question. It's just something that always intrigues me, Coach. Do you have any influence on what decision you make at the kickoff, like receiving, playing offense or playing defense at any time, or does it depend on the opponent? Do you want to play defense against certain teams or offense against certain teams?
Yeah, we talk about that during the week. I talk about that with the coaches and ask them what do they think, and I usually take their input, and then that can change from week to week. I know last year we wanted the ball every time we wanted to toss, but we were really good defensively, and so sometimes it's better to go play defense and then win field position there early. But going back to your question, Chester, they have a really good quarterback. That's a 2-year starter. He was a starter on that last year's team. And then they've got a really good halfback, number 6, that's probably one of the faster kids in our league. And if you take the wrong angle or you let him get out of there, you're not going to catch him. Okay, so he's a really good player. I think he had throw over 300 yards against Southern last week. So just a really good back, and that puts a lot of pressure on you defensively to play your gap, to pursue the football and play hard, and then you got to tackle the guy. You got to get him on the ground. And then defensively, they're not an overly big team, but those kids, they'll die trying to get to the football. They got a little linebacker inside, number 8. Last kid named Dansby. He weighs probably 145 pounds soaking wet, and he'll make every single tackle if you don't block him. And him and number 4 inside linebackers are just really good players. So, it'll be a challenge for us to get those guys blocked. And then at the same time, they're going to run to the football and pursue it hard. So we're going to have to play well on the offensive side.
Well, one of the things that we're looking forward to, Coach, there are all these activities that have gone on all week, and there will be activities Friday night. But we want, and I know you want, our crowd to come out and get there early. And we have a beautiful facility, and we typically have an absolutely engaged crowd. Our crowd understands football, and they get behind this team. And I would like to make sure and reinforce to everyone, make sure you get there early tomorrow night. We want to get this place jumping whenever the Lowndes guys step on the field.
Yeah, and this is a non-typical homecoming game. Usually for a homecoming game, you're picking somebody that you can beat by 50 points. So So this is very be a challenge for us, and hopefully we can send our people that are coming back for homecoming home happy. And but I think it's going to be a really great football game, and I'm very excited about it.
Well, Coach, we are looking forward to it. We've been talking about this game all week long, anxious for Friday to get here and get this thing kicked off. Any closing remarks? I know you got to get out of here pretty quick. Anything else you want to add to this week's?
Yeah, well, as always, it's great to play, guys, for the CNEA.
Thank you, Coach. Folks, we'll be right back in just a second and give you a little bit more detail on what's coming up this week and go over a few stats. Talk to you soon.
Star Insurance Group of Opelika, Auburn, Montgomery, and Greenville. With all of life's demands, buying insurance is probably low on your list. Luckily, there's someone who's looking out for you and putting your needs first. A trusted friend is right around the corner. The team at Star Insurance can provide you with great protection and a personal touch. Whether it's business, farm, home, or auto, their team can help out. They aren't just agents, they're members of the community.
The Chambers Academy Booster Club invites you to purchase tickets for our upcoming gun drawing. We will select one winner every day in November, plus a bonus drawing. Tickets are $25 each or 5 for $100. You can pick up tickets from Newman's Farm Supply, the CA office, or any foundation members. Good luck! Chambers Academy Sports Live would like to thank Taffy Nelson Photographs for all her hard work capturing our memories from senior portraits, sporting events, pageants, prom, and family portraits. Reach out to Taffy at taffynelson.com.
Hey everyone, this is Ricky up here at Newman's Farm Supply. I know it's a little dry, but I want to remind y'all that we have all the food plot mixes here. We got the 4-way, the 8-way, we got the WMS. And look, I know everybody's concerned, but I have ordered the rain, I have prayed for the rain, so I know it's coming. So come on, come get it. Don't forget about the 30 for 30 gun tickets. You can get them here at Newman's Farm Supply, or you can get them at Chambers Academy. And good luck, Chambers, as they travel to Eufaula play Lakeside. Let's go Rebels! Woo!
Welcome back, everyone, for segment 3 tonight of the Coaches Show. As usual, Mr. Carter's got some really good information here, Chet. So I want you to kind of run us through some of this information that you have diligently compiled here for us.
All right. You know, as we mentioned earlier, the Rebels come into this matchup 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the region. Lowndes comes in at 5-0 and 3-0 in the region. Last time these two schools played was in 2021. We went down there and played them. Tough matchup at the beginning, but Chambers eventually, ran away with it 40-6, and we'll be looking to even up the overall series at 10 wins and 10 wins.
That was an interesting point that I saw in your notes earlier today. I did not know that that's where our series stands, so that's kind of an important one there.
Yeah, this will be the 20th matchup between us two over the years, so it's great to have this back on the schedule. As Jason mentioned, the new head coach down there, James Sampley, is his first year back after having 20-some years over at Fort Dale. He did originally coach at Lowndes back in the mid-'90s. So a little different offensive look from what I gathered compared to the other coach that was there that moved on to Prattville Christian.
Well, I think it's interesting, too, Chet, when we hear Coach Allen talking about kind of the experience and some of the similarities, how the program is being built there and how the philosophies are a lot alike. And what I hear him saying is those guys are going to come up here expecting to win, and they're going to play until it's done.
Yeah.
They're going to play hard as long as we're playing football tomorrow night.
Oh, absolutely. You know, when you have two teams that are very similar, a lot of times teams come up here, especially a homecoming game, they may not be expecting to come out with a W. These guys are going to be expecting a W.
Yeah, absolutely.
So far on the offensive side of the ball, Chambers is putting up on average 40 points a game. Lowndes is putting up 38 points a game. Chambers' defense is allowing only 9.5 points a game, and Lowndes is giving up only 8.5 points a game. So something's got to give here tomorrow night. And the maximum amount of points that either team has allowed in the game is 14.
Well, what it says to me is that there is a great deal of similarity, at least as far as how the games have played. you don't really know all the opponents. We know that we've been ahead physically in several of our matches, and I'm assuming they may have been as well. And that's all well and good. But tomorrow night, two really good teams are going to get to go out there and play against each other.
Yep. Some of the key matchups that we're going to be looking for, as Jason mentioned, will be that Chambers defense looking to stop the 6 foot, 185-pound senior running back, number 6, Jeremy Hardy. He's quite explosive. Can stick a cleat in the ground and turn upfield easily. A couple weeks ago, Jason mentioned, had over 300 yards on 16 carries with 4 touchdowns against their region foe, Fort Dale. Chambers' experienced D-line will match up very well against the offensive line for Lowndes. So it's going to be, a battle down there in the trenches tomorrow. Yeah. So that's something to watch as you're, going throughout the evening tomorrow, to see who can win those small little battles and opening up those gaps.
Sorry, Chet. One of the things that I always think about when we're up in the booth and we're watching the game, you're there doing that play-by-play, and it gives me such an advantage to get in the binoculars sometime and just watch a position, whether you pick the defensive end on either side, on either squad, or watch a tackle on defense or offense or a guard moving around. And I would encourage people to try to think about the game. When you're playing a big game like this, you can start to pick out some really outstanding players, and you can begin to anticipate some of the impact they're going to have. And you mentioned 2 guys that I think are going to be impact players for them.
Oh, absolutely. And on our side of the ball, on the defense side, expect a busy night for our linebackers, especially Colton Fuller. He's going to have a big game there, stopping that running back there for Lowndes. Chambers' fleet of running backs that we have, they're all going to have to contribute in their own way because you have such different kinds of styles of running backs. You have Yurda that can plow through you. Jack can turn on, the speed. And then Trey is coming along this year quite nicely in the backfield. So it's going to be interesting to see how each one of those running backs contribute to the offensive success for Chambers.
And I'm always thinking about when we're watching the games, when we get our offensive set out, and maybe not just in the first series, but after you run that first series, there are some adjustments that we make, and you come back out, and then you start getting a feel for who really has the hot hand, because the blocking scheme is going to be pretty much the same. You start seeing a guy who can make that cut, or you see the guy who can just kind of bide his time and hit that hole. And I always enjoy watching our running backs, and you'll see that different momentum from some of our guys. And of course, when one of them hits that big hole and rips off about 40 yards, it is an impactful play, and you can see this offense pick up speed, get that momentum, and start really moving faster.
Yeah, with the matchup that we're seeing so evenly matched up on each side of the ball, it's probably going to come down to, who has the ball last, or a special team play that's going to make the difference. Is it going to be a field goal kick from Nix that, comes along and saves the day, or is it going to be a kick return? So there's going to be a lot of exciting things out there tomorrow to watch, to see, what small advantage one team has to lift them throughout the evening.
Well, the coaches, we talk to all 3 of our coaches every week, it seems like, and they say the same thing. They say, you got to win the line of scrimmage, you got to win the defensive line of scrimmage, and then you got to handle the ball. You can't make mistakes, and mistakes in the kicking game and mistakes putting the ball on the ground are things that I'm sure drive coaches crazy. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and a lot of eyes are going to be on first-year starter quarterback Hunter Andrews for Chambers to see if he can manage the game, not let the game manage him, and see what, Lowndes' defense gives him and take advantage of those opportunities. And the key thing for him is to avoid turnovers.
Well, I think one of the things that I've been impressed with is Hunter. He has shown such quick maturity. He doesn't seem to me like the game is too fast. It's not like he's behind the curve trying to chase into the speed of the game. He is right on target, and he doesn't seem to get pressed. And it's like he knows where to go. He knows what to do. And when things break down, we've seen him on a couple occasions, Chet, make a big run on a play that wasn't maybe busted but didn't go well. And then sometimes when that exchange, I know there's one play where the ball got exchanged a little loosely, he just tucked it and went right up the middle and picked up like 20 yards. So I always think about the quarterback being in control and having the right kind of vision and the right kind of mental speed for the game.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun time tomorrow, so you guys have got to come down to Torbert Allen Field early, at least get there by 6 o'clock, because there's going to be some homecoming activities pregame, and then they'll have the long homecoming halftime festivities as well. So it's going to be a great evening down there tomorrow. The rain should clear out, and it should be a nice fall evening for a nice 1-2 matchup midway through the season.
Well, it's hard for me to believe that we are going to be playing Game 6 tomorrow night. Boy, it has been a quick first half of the year. And you are exactly right, Chet. It's a big game. It's a game we've been waiting on in our schedule to get Lowndes up here and let's match up. And after, the day of anticipation tomorrow, it'll just be time to kick it and let's go play.
That's right.
Folks, we'll be taking a quick break here, hear a word from some of our sponsors, and then we'll be back and talk with Coach Dylan Nesmith. We'll see you in just a second.
State Farm agent Mike Spear, your local and trusted insurance agent. Contact Mike at 334-864-8772 for all of your insurance needs, home, auto, life, and more. You can always stop by and see him at his office at 401 South Lafayette Street on the 4-lane. Shepherd Homeworks, established in 2004, headquartered in beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, serving East Alabama, Lake Martin, and West Georgia. At Shepherd Homeworks, we specialize in custom cabinets and millwork, built in our very own cabinet shop. Contact Stephen Shepherd, 334-234-1180 to make your dreams become a reality. Go Rebels!
Keely Knox Tire off of I-85, exit 77 on Farm James Drive. Best tire prices for you and me, 756-8473.
Kenny Knox Tire Center, 334-756-8473, a proud supporter of Rebel football.
All right, folks, we are back here at Monte Alban for the Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show. We have Coach Dylan here to talk a little bit about the defensive side of the ball for tomorrow's game. Coach Dylan, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. It rained today.
I know. We're excited about that. And,
Absolutely.
Maybe get some of that that dirt to turn to grass down there at Torbert Allen Field.
Absolutely. That practice field needed it.
Yeah, you guys have been working hard trying to keep it somewhat green, so maybe this will help you out. So big game tomorrow versus Lowndes, number 1, number 2, meeting up. So kind of give us your perspective of how this week's practice went and some of the things that you guys will be looking for tomorrow night to sniff out.
The practice this week was really good. The guys have been really locked in and really focused. We've kind of been looking forward to this one. We haven't had an opportunity to play these guys in a while.
Yeah.
And they've been, you could argue that, they've been, us and them have been the two most successful schools in the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's been amazing to me I don't understand why we haven't matched up, but we're really excited. We're really excited about the opportunity to play these guys. But practice has been really good, really focused and locked in.
Coach, Chet gave us some stats about a couple of their offensive guys, and we also heard that echoed by Coach Allen. And I'm just wondering, from a defensive coach's standpoint, knowing that they have two really key offensive guys that they're bringing to this game, is it business as usual with you and your prep with your defense? Do you say the same things, or do you put a special emphasis on those two key players?
No, we put an emphasis on it. We put a big emphasis on it. Yeah, the running back is a game breaker. He's the type of guy that if we fit something wrong, it's going to be 6. And but to me, the key to their offense is the quarterback. The quarterback really makes things go. You can tell he's very just a heads up, just a great high school football player, very tough. Does not mind sticking his nose in there to get an extra yard. Just the type of kid that. So to me, he's the guy who makes things go. But the running back is an absolute game changer.
Well, that's awesome to hear. If I think about the defensive side of the football, I mean, it all starts in my mind with the defensive line.
It does.
That's where your anchor is, where that foundation begins. But I think about a quarterback and a running back. If that running back gets shut down, they're probably going to have that athletic quarterback try to throw the ball or either get outside, something like that. And I think it's one of the things that we also have a strength. We're not just a defensive line team. We have great linebacker play, and our secondary can play.
Yeah, well, we'll find out tomorrow how good we are. I mean, like you said, I know we're good up front. We're really good up front. I would take those 4 guys over any 4 guys in the state, and I'm not talking about any classification. I'm talking about in the state. I would take those 4 guys because they know exactly what to do, and they can play anything, any run game. They've seen it all, and it's been a true blessing to watch those guys grow up and watch them kind of just morph into this awesome unit. But their coach is a really good coach. I heard Jason touch on that. They're going to have some wrinkles that we're going to have to deal with, and excited for that chess match. You know, it's always fun to make adjustments and try to keep up with it. I'm just really excited about this matchup.
I did catch a little glimpse of a play. They had some trick plays they pulled out. And, you know, I was wondering if you guys have been keeping an eye on that. I can't remember what game it was, but it was like a double reverse flea flicker. It was pretty impressive.
It was. It looked good. It looked really good. You know, last week they played against Southern Academy, and the winner of that game had a really good chance to become the #1 seed. So I know they put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into that one. So we studied that film really hard. We've kind of touched on the, you know, I'm sure that they're gonna do something that we haven't seen, and they're gonna do something to surprise us. Maybe a trick play, and maybe a wacky formation or something. But you know, when it comes down to it, they're gonna do. You know, they're going to run the offensive plays that they're comfortable with running and that what they've been successful with. Just like when it comes down to it, our offense is going to do the things that we know how to do and that we're comfortable with. You can always throw in new gadgets and new wrinkles, but when it comes down to it, you know what you're going to get. Yeah. And so
I think it's been last time we talked, Trey missed a couple in the secondary. But he finally came up with an interception, so we were really excited for him to nail that interception and bring that one in.
Yep.
So seeing him grow up back there, you know, as a 10th grader.
Yeah,
he's a 10th grader, right?
He is. Yeah. So that's always a big jump from going from a freshman to a sophomore, and especially playing as early as he did.
Sure.
But you know, we saw the potential. He's a great athlete. And he's got really good ball skills, and I think he probably was a little jittery at first, and he's starting to settle in, and it's been fun to watch. It's been really fun to watch.
Well, one of the things we talked about with Trey was, look, you're not going to be in that place unless you have the right position. You're going to get yourself in that position to make those plays, and he's been real close. And last week it was really nice to see him pull that ball down. And he had a couple that I could not believe I thought he had both of them. So it's really good to see him settle in and play awfully well. One other thing I asked Coach Allen about this. If you just eliminated the team, you didn't think about what the skill was on the team. If someone came to you and said, do you want to play offense or do you want to play defense as a coach? Which one would you want to do?
I want to play D. I want to play defense.
I kind of felt like defense.
That. Yep.
And is that, to me, when we play, we almost always wanted to play defense because we felt like playing defense gave us the first shot at setting the tone of the game. Is that kind of the way you see it as well?
It does. We like he said, we have conversations about it. To me, you know, if you come out there on the first drive and they say the first 4 minutes of the game and the first 4 minutes of the second half are, you know, just absolutely critical. And if you come out in the first drive on defense and you screw up, it could be 6. But if you come out in the first drive on offense and you screw up, you're more than likely it's going to punt.
Right.
So, you know, we talk about that a lot. So, you know, a lot of the times you'll see us actually elect to receive at the beginning of the game. And that's just one more opportunity for us to have fresh legs on offense. You know, and it may equal out. We talk about it ad nauseum, though. But tomorrow I think we're going to play D first.
Well, one question about how do you feel about the depth of defense? Because when we're up there watching all the subs that come in and out, how do you, especially a game that's going to play 4 quarters most likely, how comfortable you are with the depth of your defense?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's something that we talk about all the time, not only for the future, but for a freak injury to happen, and you got to make sure you got multiple guys at each position. So to me, we've got we're too deep everywhere. So we're too deep when everybody knows what to do. So if you see something happen, we'll be on board and we'll be ready for it.
Well, one thing I asked Coach about, and I'm not picking on you especially, but we had a couple of games that, got out of hand, and you had some young guys on the field. You had some twos, and you had some other guys that are out there, and those guys deserve to play.
That's right.
And one of the things that I really appreciate, and I love the way that it can be a scorer in a game that's out of hand. And you're going to coach.
Yeah.
You're going to coach kids hard. And my philosophy about that is they deserve that.
That's right.
They really have earned the right for you to coach them and teach them and be on them.
That's exactly
Whether
right.
it's good or whether it's bad, that is the opportunity to coach those kids.
Yeah. What else are we here for if not to do that? And I probably do get a little worked up. I probably get a little too worked up there, at the end. But it just you just want to see your guys succeed, and you want to see your younger guys especially just do well. And so we do put a big emphasis on that. We want to play well. We want to play our assignments, and because our defense is the way we're set up is we're sound. We're sound everywhere if you do your job and do your responsibility and if you can make the tackle, you're gonna have an opportunity.
Well, what to your credit though is, to get an opportunity in game time situation to give those kids feedback is a lot different than practice. You've got to take every single opportunity.
Yeah, a game atmosphere is completely different than a practice atmosphere. You can't replicate what you see on Friday nights in practice as much as you want to or as hard as you try. When bullets are flying like that, you can't replicate it, and to see the guys respond, you get to see how a guy's going to respond to busting an assignment, and how are they going to respond? Are they going to fold? Are they going to and that's always good, and we take that into account. We take that into account for future.
One thing that we talked to Coach Jackson last year, he and I were talking off the show, and we were just talking about the playoffs and what to expect. And one thing he said to me that stuck, and I think it fits what you and Chad are talking about. He said to me, when you go to the playoffs, it's a different game. It's a different concentration. It's a different physical effort, and it's a really different speed.
Oh, it is. It's do or die.
And that's when the game really picks up pace, and you'll see players who don't get ready for that until a couple of series, and then other players make that adjustment right away. And I think that does fit with it. You've got to get those guys ready to move to the big game and then move, of course, into the playoff atmosphere.
Absolutely. And you'll see, things like more guys that you normally don't see on special teams. You may see some, guys make jumps on special teams. Yeah. And, we special teams is extremely important. We've lost games on special teams alone. So we put a big emphasis on that, and you got to have guys on special teams, and when you're making plays on special teams, we notice, and you want to reward that.
Yeah.
You want to reward that.
I think tomorrow special teams is going to give Chambers the break on it. That's what it's going to come down to.
That's the
special teams play is going to make it for it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, if it comes down to that, I hope it's in our favor, but I hope it doesn't come down to that. I hope we won't get to it.
I'm going with him.
Now, Coach, one last thing I just want to talk to you about from a on the field competitive standpoint. This defense, we always are kidding you and talking to you about, if you're going to play defense for Coach Dillon, you're going to hit. Everybody's going to hit. It's just a standard. In the last maybe 3 weeks, Coach, you have had some guys, and I expect your inside guys to hit. They're big guys, they're strong guys. Your linebacker's going to come up hitting. You've had some guys come up in the secondary in the last 2 weeks especially and put on kind of devastating hits. So we know that runs through the entire defense. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, and it kind of comes with the experience. Sam and Bryce, are both multi-year starters on the back end. So they're playing. They understand what to do. They're kind of my brains out there, and they're kind of. And Trey's coming along. He's coming along really well. And the good thing about Trey is we've had him since he was in 4th grade. And we've been coaching him for this moment since he was just a little tot.
That is awesome.
And it's just awesome. It's a great experience to be around. It's extremely exhausting at times to coach all 3 teams, but when you see it come full circle like this, it's very rewarding.
Sure, and I'm sure that is true.
It is.
Well, Coach, we look forward to the big homecoming week festivities concluding, and we look forward to getting our guys out on the field and probably the biggest game so far of the year, and certainly I think the biggest game in our league. So best of luck. We'll be there, and we want to encourage our crowd to be there early.
Absolutely.
We wish you the very best.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Folks, we'll take a word from some of our sponsors and come back and wrap this show up.
Jeff Monroe, a Republican candidate for Alabama House District 37. He spent over 45 years serving Alabama as a firefighter, paramedic, and fire chief. Jeff's top priorities are public safety, education, and workforce development. Jeff also believes every family deserves to feel safe, raise their kids with confidence, and have access to good jobs. Learn more about Jeff at monroeforstatehouse.com.
Lafayette True Value, located on the Highway 50 bypass in Lafayette, Alabama, is your only resource for your home improvement projects. Behind every project is a True Value. James Allen and his staff proudly support the Chambers Academy Rebels. James Allen also thanks you for shopping local. Lafayette True Value, 334-864-9842.
Hey Rebel fans, it's Pastor Dave from Lafayette Heights Baptist Church. We're excited to partner again with the Rebel football team for the 2025 season. Wanted to invite you and your family to come and join us here at Lafayette Heights Baptist Church. If you're looking for a local church where you can be loved and encouraged and where your spiritual life can begin to flourish, we'd love to have you join us here any Sunday, 10:45 a.m. Go Rebels!
All right, folks, and welcome back here to Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show. We're about ready to wrap this show up. Had a great show talking about the game tomorrow, the big matchup, number 1 and 2 down at Torbert Allen Field, homecoming week. It was great to get Jason in here. We know he had some an opportunity to go take care of some business and get him in and get his sights on tomorrow's game. And great insight from Coach Dillon.
You know, Chad, I'm always amazed when we come up here and we sit down with our 3 coaches. Sorry, Coach Jackson couldn't be here tonight. But it's so important, and I enjoy it so much talking to our guys. And I don't know if everybody across the league, because we're not there, we're here. But I know this, our coaches give us so much time and so much information. And I feel so lucky to be able to share this time like tonight and talk to the guys who are leading this team, who are actually making the decisions that this team operates off of. And they're just great guys to talk with. They'll talk to you. They'll tell you what they're thinking, and they'll be very clear about it, and I love that.
Yep. Just great guys all around, from the head coach all the way down through all the assistants. We hang out with them and talk to them, and they're always giving us some insight, a different angle to what's going on. So tomorrow night is the homecoming game at Torbert Allen Field. Get down there early. Yep. Should be a packed house. I know there's some early festivities, so I think they start at 6:30. So come at least by 6 o'clock. Get your spot there and get ready to have a good time and have a great football game too. Watch a great football game.
I'll be there early.
I will too. Folks, also a reminder to make sure that you pick up your gun tickets.
Yep, that's very true.
You can pick them up at the main office or Newman's Farm Supply downtown, or any foundation member. You can get those. It's $25 for one or $5 for 100. So make sure you pick those up, because that's one gun a day in November. So it should be an exciting time, and good luck to everyone.
Yeah. I'm going to need it.
So, folks, we'll see you guys tomorrow at Torbert Allen Field. Get there, and let's have a good time tomorrow, and go Rebels. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.